Hey, what's up, Liberty lovers? It's Liberty Lou, Colorado Infidel, #1. Yeah, I wanted to do a response last night, but things were kind of fast, and I had to wait for all the evidence and all the facts to come in. Something that CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, your favorite mainstream media, fake news outlets, something that they cannot comprehend, something that is not in their repertoire, something that they cannot handle, is waiting for the actual evidence and actual facts to come out. So here it is. I'm 24 hours later, guys. Just wanted to come and talk to you about it. I just want to start off saying, how much is enough? What's it going to take for the Western society to wake up? What's it going to take? I think what we're seeing today is it's kind of sad. I myself have been trying to stop what I think is coming and what our rulers and elite want. They want a race war. They are importing people that are not compatible with Western society. I have Muslim friends, and the majority of them have immigrated here legally. They're all Trump-supporting, U.S. flag-waving patriots now that abhor what is happening right now. And they tell me themselves, these are not refugees, Lewis. This is a planned invasion. Like I've said in many of my videos beforehand, if you can go to the UN's website yourself right now, and you can look at the numbers. The statistics are saying that 84% of these people that are Syrian refugees are men 18 to 30 years old. Leaders of their faith, proud imams, have been calling for this for years now. ISIS has been saying, we're going to infiltrate your migration system. These people are coming off of the boats without any papers. There's no vetting. There's no checking for health screening. Tuberculosis is off the charts now in Minneapolis because of the Somalian immigrants that are coming to Minneapolis right now. And my Minneapolis friends that are watching right now, you know what I'm talking about. These people aren't being vetted. 84% of these people are men, 18 to 30 years old. You don't know where they're coming from, and yes, they are all from the Arabic descent. I'm sorry, I'm not racist. Like I just said, I have many Muslim friends here that have immigrated legally. They're all Trump-supporting American patriots now. And they all tell me the same thing. These are not refugees. This is a planned invasion. You're being spoon-fed some bullshit, liberals. You need to wake up. And I'm seeing liberals now waking up in the UK today. I got reports and videos from Live Leaks and other reporters, not reporters from mainstream media, reporters like me, on the ground actually giving you news, unlike CNN and Fox News and MSNBC can do. What they're showing us now is that we got UK youth are going out and starting to burn mosques. They're starting to retaliate. They've had enough. How much is enough? What's it going to take to wake up, guys? I don't want to see this get violent, because do you know where this leads? Where this leads is patriots like myself. I'm not saying I want to get violent, but people that are awake, informed, and aware are going to start responding. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly. In European countries right now, if you say anything on Facebook, if you speak up about what's happening right now, you're thrown in jail. You're not allowed to say anything about this. I had another friend today from Europe. I'm not going to say her name or what country she's from, but she came out reaching out towards me. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you so much for what you're doing right now, because we're not allowed to speak about it. I don't want my country to be taken over by this ideology, and we're not allowed to say anything about it. This is coming here to America too, you guys. How much is enough? How much is enough? Last night, as soon as the blast was reported outside of Ariana Grande's concert, CNN and BBC were trying to say that it was a balloon. It's a good possibility that a balloon popped in front of a speaker, and that's what you heard from the explosion. No, as you guys have seen, I showed the videos from inside the arena last night, the Manchester Arena last night. It was a very loud explosion. That is a bomb. Follow the bouncing ball, people. That is called a IED, improvised explosion device. My military friends and veterans out there watching right now know what I'm talking about. That's exactly what it was. CNN and BBC are trying to say, oh, it could have been an electrical mishap. It could have been a balloon popping in front of a loudspeaker. Get frickin' real. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And it's so unfortunate that when we hear of an attack like this, we already know who it is. We already know. We already know. Liberals, don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. This is coming here. This is a planned invasion. Like I said, my Muslim friends out here that have legally migrated here are patriots, and they're telling me the same shit. Stop listening to CNN and BBC. It wasn't a balloon. It was a bomb. I don't care if you think ISIS had anything to do with it or not. They've claimed responsibility, and they've been saying for 2 years now that they're going to be infiltrating our migration system. 2 years. You got leading imams from Iran, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Iraq, all of them saying we're going to be infiltrating your migration system and sending our fighters in here. We know right now there's 1,400 ISIS soldiers returning back to the UK. They're already back. These are soldiers that were fighting in ISIS. They have been allowed back into the country. What do you think is going to happen? The mayor, Sadiq Khan of London, this is about 6 months ago, saying that terrorism now is just going to be a part of society now in the UK, and you're just going to have to get used to it. You're just going to have to get used to it. How do you like that, ladies and gentlemen? London's first Muslim mayor, Sadiq Khan, telling you to submit. If you live in the UK, Germany, Italy, Greece, or anywhere else in the European Union, you're not allowed to speak your mind. If you say anything on Facebook, you're thrown in jail. Just last week, we had a woman in Europe thrown in jail because she complained to the authorities that the migrants were defecating in the streets. So instead of addressing the problem, they threw her in jail. In Germany, in France, and Italy, they are now confiscating private property, citizens' homes, to give up to migrants. In Italy, we just found out 2 weeks ago that only 2% of the migrants that have been taken in are actually refugees. Only 4% of these migrants in France and Germany have actually found jobs. Do you know what this is, ladies and gentlemen? This is a strain and a drain on the welfare system. These people will tell you themselves, we don't want to work. We don't want to work. 13% of migrants in this refugee crisis still support suicidal bombing. 64% of Muslims in the UK have responded in surveys saying they will not report if their friends or family are joining ISIS or fighting with terrorism. They won't say anything. They admit it in their own surveys. 64%. Islam is going to become the #1 religion in the world here very soon. You can look these numbers up yourself too. Everything I'm saying to you right now, you can go to Google and look up for yourself. You're not going to hear this from CNN and MSNBC, my friends. You're not going to hear this. This is a planned invasion. I've showed you the clips over the past year. You want to know why Donald Trump won, ladies and gentlemen? Because of what happened last night in the UK. It wasn't a balloon. It wasn't an electrical mishap. It was Islamic radical terrorism. I'm going to say it one more time. Islamic radical terrorism. Why is it so hard for people to say that? Because you're supposed to not care. You're supposed to just let them submit. They're coming here. They're coming here to invade. It's that simple. You need to sit back, submit to it, and be a cuck and let it happen. If you are raped in an Orthodox Muslim country, if you're the woman raped, it's your fault. Women are not allowed out of the house without a man. Women cannot drive. You can't vote. Like I said, if you're raped, it's your fault and you're stoned to death. They throw gays off of roofs of buildings. These people aren't tolerant. Today's American left has gone batshit crazy. And feminists are out there, oh, you're just Islamophobic and you're xenophobic. You know what? Let's just go ahead and look up the definition of phobia right now. Let's do this. You guys, this is going to be educational. Let's get educated, like George Bush would say. Ready? Phobia, noun. A persistent, abnormal, and irrational fear of a specific thing or situation that compels one to avoid it, despite the awareness and reassurance that it is not dangerous. Noun, a strong fear, dislike, or aversion. Let me say that one more time. A persistent, abnormal, and irrational fear of a specific thing or situation that compels one to avoid it. Okay, Islamophobia at this point is not a thing because let's just go over this one more time. Paris, France, Italy, all these attacks, who was it? It wasn't radical extremist Christians. At some point, when you fear for your life, your friends' lives, and your family's lives, your sons, your daughters, like we saw what happened last night at Ariana Grande's concert being blown to bits, that's not an irrational fear. That is a true, real fear of what's really happening in reality. Our rulers and elite today want to virtue signal and tell you that you need to just submit and take them in because it's caring, it's tolerant, and it's all for globalism. We need to get rid of borders. We need to help these people. They're so great. While they're shitting in the streets, rampant rape in Sweden, and I don't even have to say it anymore. I've been saying it for so long. How much is it going to take? What's it going to take, guys? Heather says they admit it because Islam is a religion of honor. Dishonor yourself, your family, your culture, and the penalty is death, often by stoning. There it is, right there. Honor killing. What we have rising in America and the UK and the European Union right now, honor killings, female genital mutilation, mad sweeps of rape. But no, today's left in America would rather complain about American men and the supposed rape culture. You want to know what the real rape culture is? I don't want to sound racist here, but like I said, at some point, there's no such thing as a xenophobia or Islamophobia when there's the same people keep committing it over and over and over again. Like I said before, I have Muslim friends. But they're all saying the same things. They migrated here legally. A couple of them worked for the United States Army in Iraq as interpreters or, signalers. I have them. They're actual friends, and they're patriots. They all voted Donald Trump, too, by the way. Thanks, Jack. Yes, my heart and prayers do go out to the families out there, and it's just sick and sad. And I can't remember her name right now, but a column writer in the UK came out and said, my fellow UK citizens, these are your daughters. These are your wives. These are your sisters. Where are the men? Stand up. Unfortunately, Europeans' men have been cuckolded and turned into feminine males. Beta male cucks. I'm sorry. And yes, the females in Europe are now attracted to these migrators because they're more manly viewing. Ugh. Yeah, seriously, at what point are you going to stand up for yourselves? 84% of these migrants are men 18 to 30 years old. Where are the women and children that CNN and MSNBC have been telling us that are coming here? They're not here. They're back home fighting ISIS while the men are coming here invading. I've showed you the clips, guys. If you haven't seen them, go back to my prior videos and check them out. Logan and I just did a special on this, 2 weeks ago, showing how the imams out there are saying that the men out here in the Western society are weak, they're infertile, the women are craving us because we're going to marry 5, 6 women and we're going to give them 20 kids. This is a planned invasion. This is not a migrant crisis. They're not refugees. Follow the bouncing ball. Heather says, can't blame them for liking our American men. Well, there are still awake females here. Unfortunately, my friends on the Libertarian Party, conservative, independent, alt-right, good luck finding a woman today in America that you can date that thinks for themselves and doesn't watch CNN and HuffPo and BuzzFeed and, we're going to submit to Islam because it's so feminist. Yeah. Not being able to leave the house without a man and covering your entire body or being stoned to death or whipped to death in the streets. That's very feminist. Congratulations. I digress. I got to get back into the topics today. The European thought police is here. I've been talking about this for the past year. Mark Zuckerberg met with the censorship czar of China last year. How are we going to censor people's opinions on what's really happening? Like I said, another one of my friends from Europe today came out. Thank you, Lewis, so much. Thank you for what you do. You're welcome, by the way. I'm not going to shut up. I am American, and I'm so sick of the liberal trash that I see on the news. I'm done. And my friends that are liberals, you buy this shit up. What's it going to take? The parents of these kids that were brutally murdered by nail bombs from a suicidal coward pussy last night, they're pissed. They want answers. They want action. Why are your politicians in Europe not representing you? Because they don't care. They all live in guarded compound mansions with walls and guards. While you have to give up your private property, your house, your businesses for the newcomers. And if you don't like it, we'll throw you in jail. And if you say anything about it on social media, you're going to be the one getting viewed from the cops. Facebook has been allowing ISIS to promote whatever they want on Facebook. But as a conservative here in America or the European Union, your Facebook is shut down. You're put in Facebook jail because you're a bigoted racist. Political correctness is killing us, and you don't see it. Actually, you know what? I retract that because a lot of my liberal friends are starting to wake up, and it's nice. What I don't want to see is conservatives fight back violently, and it's going to happen. At what point, we got to stop this before it happens. I don't want to see any of my friends in the streets possibly be killed and fighting. This is all, oh my God. It's getting that bad. It really is getting that bad. And you know what? I'm not scared. I wear this shirt with pride. Um, Ariana Grande, yes, the pop singer. Back in 2015, she did in fact say, "I wish all my fans died. I hate America." And she said last year, "I fucking hate Trump. I fucking hate America." Well, I wonder what she was thinking last night as she heard the explosions outside of her concert at the Manchester Arena. While she's being guarded by armed guards and security, while the rest of the sheeple and people out there, the masses, aren't guarded, are being blown to bits. Teenagers, teeny bopper girls being blown to bits. Ariana Grande is protected by mansions, walls, guards. She probably wanted to be back home safe in America where she knew she was safe. I wonder why. I feel so bad for my friends in Europe. And thank you for reaching out to me. And thank you for continuing to get me the intel that I need. I love you, and stay safe out there. Let's get to some clips here. You're going to like this one. So like I was saying, BBC and CNN, they were trying to say that it was a balloon that popped in front of a loudspeaker, or it could have been an electrical mishap. We knew what it was right off the bat, and unfortunately it sucks to have to say that. It really does. BBC host Katie Kay is in some hot water right now because she also has said now that we have to just get used to it. It's just going to be a part of regular occurrence in Europe now, and there's nothing you can do about that. And you just got to get used to it, much like the mayor of London said. Let's go ahead and go to Katie Kay and what she said last night.
Mothers that they found who are still looking for their daughters, and daughters that they found who are still looking for their mothers, and they can't find the rest of their families. And I think that's what is making Europe is getting used to attacks like this, Mika. We have to, because we are never going to be able to totally wipe this out. As ISIS gets squeezed in Syria and Iraq, we're going to see more of these kinds of attacks taking place in Europe, and Europe is starting to get used to that. None of us are used to having children targeted in this way. Young mothers that they found who are still looking for their daughters, and daughters that...
Yeah, you're just going to have to go ahead and get used to it, guys. Sorry, you're just going to have to go ahead and get used to your daughters and your sons being blown to bits by nail bombs by a bunch of cowardly pussies. But you must submit because of the whole globalism. We don't need borders. We need to love everybody and be tolerant. While we invade your countries with a society that is not compatible with freedom in the Western society. What do you think's going to happen? The patriots here are going to stand up and do something about it. And it's not going to be pretty for anybody, and I don't want to see that. But we're ready here. Yeah, final tallies that I'm seeing updated right now is still 22 killed last night, 59 injured. The attacker has been identified as 22-year-old Salmon Abedi. He was born in the UK, yes, so you got liberals out there. He was a British citizen. Oh, you're just a racist bigot. No, but his parents were migrants from Libya, the failed state that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama... You like that? Obama. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama used the same thing that George Bush did. You guys like that? It's called regime change. So we go into a Middle East country and we take out a moderate ruler and we install a dictator. And it turns into a third world shithole. And we waste our tax dollars and our boys and girls go out there to die. Fact of the matter is, Hillary Clinton, as the head of the State Department, sold weapons through Benghazi to ISIS. Ambassador Chris Stevens died because he didn't want to go along with it. So Hillary and Obama left him and his buddies to die. In case you haven't yet, watch the film 13 Hours. Get involved. Start learning for yourself and quit watching CNN and freaking MSNBC. Ugh. And Fox News, too, conservatives. You think they care about you? They're all owned by the same people. Fox News, conservatives, is there to keep you in check, to make you think that you're getting the real conservative news. Murdoch is actually owned and paid and bought for by Saudi Arabia. Not too happy with Trump this week. There's some things he did really well on that trip, but selling more arms to Saudi Arabia, one of the top two terrorist supporters in the world, Iran and Saudi Arabia. It seems like the United States wants to pick which one they want to use to fight the rest of them. It's a complete perpetual war that we send our boys and girls out to die for, that I spend my money on, that I don't want to spend my money on. You want to know why we keep creating so many terrorists? Because we keep bombing innocent people. What do you think happens when you drop a bomb on someone that was innocent? When they see their child laying dead in the street because a bomb from our country came there, what would you do? Oh, it's just American love and tolerance. We need, like Ron Paul said, we need to get the hell out of the Middle East. Either that, or we need to go in there and decisively win. None of this rules of engagement. Ooh, you know, warn them 45 minutes before we bomb them. No, if you're gonna fight a war, get it over with and get the hell out. We're spending money on shit we don't need, and this is what happens. Now there's a refugee crisis. 84% of them men aged 18 to 30 years old. That is military-aged men. The women are home fighting ISIS, while the men are invading. Yes, Salmon Abedi. Yes, he was born in the UK, but his parents were migrants from Libya. Liberals on Facebook, Twitter, all day. Just, you're racist, xenophobes. He was born in the UK. Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. And that it does lead me up to one next point that I wanted to say before I sign off tonight, is that these families know what their brothers and sisters and relatives are doing. If you think that they don't know, that's batshit crazy. Like I said, we now know that 1,400 ISIS insurgents are now back in the UK. It's migrants. Migrants. These are people that were fighting with ISIS, now allowed to come back home. You think they're just going to resettle and get jobs and they want to be tolerant and love everybody and globalism? Follow the money. Watch my videos. Watch who I share. All the information is right there in front of your face. There is some good news today coming out of the Russian investigation that the Democrats keep going on. Liberals keep trying. Another swing and a miss. We did find out that John Podesta, the head of Hillary Clinton's campaign, got $35 million from the Russian comrades while the campaign was going on. There's real Russian collusion, but it's not with the Republicans or Donald Trump. It's the Democrats and Hillary Clinton. Speaking of Hillary Clinton, yes, Seth Rich, this is going to get juicy. Like I've been saying almost, 8 months now since the election was really hot and heavy. They had Seth Rich murdered because he was coming forth with a lawsuit because Hillary Clinton stole the election from Bernie Sanders. We all know Bernie Sanders won that primary, but she stole it, and so did the DNC. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the head of the Democratic National Committee, had to step down because she was caught with the collusion. 1 hour later, 1 hour later after she steps down, she's hired by the Hillary Clinton campaign. Oh, coincidence? I think not. Let's go ahead and continue with these investigations because the real house of cards is going to fall. Liberals, keep swinging. Keep swinging. Let's go ahead and hear the good news out of the committee today. This is former CIA head Brennan being asked from Trey Gowdy, a personal favorite of mine, who I wish would be the nominee for the new head of the FBI. Let's go ahead and take a listen to this. This is former head of the CIA, Brennan, admitting there's no such thing as any Trump-Russia collusion evidence.
That's the word we use. You use the word assessment. You use the word tradecraft. I use the word evidence. And the good news for me is lots of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle use the word evidence too. One of my colleagues said there is more than circumstantial evidence of collusion between the Russians and the Trump campaign.
Oh, yeah, we got the evidence.
There are only two types of evidence. There's circumstantial and direct. So if it's more than circumstantial, by necessity, it has to be direct. Those aren't my words. Those are the words of one of my colleagues on the other side of this very committee. Another Democrat colleague on the other side of this committee also used the word evidence, that he has seen evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. And yet a third California Democrat said she had seen no evidence of collusion. So that's three different members of Congress from the same state
she needs to go to the
same word,
Life Care Center,
which is evidence.
retire.
And that's the word that my fellow citizens understand, evidence. Assessment is your vernacular. Tradecraft is your vernacular. You and I both know what the word evidence means. And we're not getting into whether or not you corroborated, contradicted, examined, cross-examined. We're not getting into how you tested and probed the reliability of that evidence. It's a really simple question. Did evidence exist of collusion, coordination, conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russian state actors at the time you learned of 2016 efforts?
I encountered and am aware of information and intelligence that revealed contacts and interactions between Russian officials and U.S. persons involved in the Trump campaign that I was concerned about because of known Russian efforts to suborn such individuals. And it raised questions in my mind, again, whether or not the Russians were able to gain the cooperation of those individuals. I don't know whether or not such collusion, that's your term, such collusion existed. I don't know. But I know
there is
that
no
there
evidence.
was a
I
sufficient
don't know.
basis of information and intelligence that required
I don't know
further,
anything.
investigation by the Bureau to determine whether or not U.S. persons were actively conspiring, colluding with Russian officials.
Do you know the basis of that information that you share with the Bureau? That's what I do.
There you go. Nothing. Over and over and over again. Like he just said, Dianne Feinstein, there's no evidence. Even Maxine Waters had to admit we don't have any evidence. There is no evidence. Liberals, you're being spoon-fed a bunch of bullshit from HuffPo, BuzzFeed, MSNBC, CNN, all of it. Do I have to keep labeling it? There is no evidence. What we do have evidence of is Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, John Podesta, all of the DNC colluding with Russia. Let's go ahead and keep this investigation going. I really want to. Let's get to the bottom of it. Because you guys are going to get screwed. And we need to find out who really killed Seth Rich. Because he was coming forth with a lawsuit against the DNC for stealing the primaries from Bernie Sanders. Here I am, trying to reach out an olive branch to my friends on the left that wanted Bernie Sanders. You were cheated. Hillary Clinton is a murdering, lying scumbag who would have sent this country to hell in a handbasket. Not only did she want to turn this country more socialist, she had plans to import 5 million or more in migrants, refugees, in the first frickin' year in office. Trump is not the savior. I do not bow down to Trump. He's not even like a good president. What he is a Band-Aid to stop the bleeding from what the leftist bullshit has infiltrated in our country. You'll wake up eventually. You'll see it. What's it going to take? How many more of these attacks is it going to take? How many more? ISIS last year calling in their own magazine, their own publications, and Facebook pages that Mark Zuckerberg allows to go on. If you're a conservative or libertarian, you're put in Facebook jail for your views. But if you're with ISIS, you can put all your videos online and no one gives a rat's ass. We'll just let you keep going and just blowing people up and burning people alive in cages, drowning them in cages, blowing people up with collars, raping and selling little girls as sex slaves, throwing gays off of roofs. Congratulations. That's what all of our tax dollars have been going to. It needs to be stopped, and it needs to be stopped now. If we don't put an end to this and start calling our rulers and the ruling elite out, it's going to get ugly because the patriots are going to start responding. What's it going to take? Truck attacks in Paris? Yeah. CNN and BBC and Sky News call for banning of people driving cars. It's not the ideology behind it. It's not the person doing it. It's the cars. But when a Republican shoots somebody or a white Christian shoots somebody, then we have to blame all white people and all gun owners. It's all their fault. But when a radical Islamic terrorist does something, it's not his fault. It's our fault because we were Islamophobic. Absolutely bullshit, and it's time to stand up and say something, guys. Enough's enough. Salmon Abedi, I hope you rot in hell, you cowardly pussy. Ugh. Stay woke. Get informed, ladies and gentlemen. Turn off BuzzFeed and HuffPo and Fox News and MSNBC and CNN. They don't care about you. Neither do your rulers. They're telling you you need to accept these people while they're sitting behind walls, armed guards, mansions. They don't know what it's like for us out here. You have to submit to the rule of Islam, my friends, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. Liberty Lou signing out. Colorado Infidel #1. I love you all. Share and like the blogs, the videos, the webpage, everything. Good night, guys. Love you. They want a race war. They are importing people that are not compatible with Western society. I have Muslim friends, and the majority of them have immigrated here legally. They're all Trump-supporting, U.S. flag-waving patriots now that abhor what is happening right now. And they tell me themselves, these are not refugees, Lewis. This is a planned invasion. Like I've said in many of my videos beforehand, if you can go to the UN's website yourself right now and you can look at the numbers. The statistics are saying that 84% of these people that are Syrian refugees are men 18 to 30 years old. Leaders of their faith, proud imams, have been calling for this for years now. ISIS has been saying we're going to infiltrate your migration system. These people are coming off of the boats without any papers. There's no vetting. There's no checking for health screening. Hey, what's up, Liberty lovers? It's Liberty Lou, Colorado Infidel #1. Yeah, I wanted to do a response last night, but things were kind of fast, and I had to wait for all the evidence and all the facts to come in. Something that CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, your favorite mainstream media, fake news outlets, something that they cannot comprehend, something that is not in their repertoire, something that they cannot handle, is waiting for the actual evidence and actual facts to come out. So here it is. I'm 24 hours later, guys. Just wanted to come and talk to you about it. I just want to start off saying, how much is enough? What's it going to take for the Western society to wake up? What's it going to take? I think what we're seeing today is, it's kind of sad. I myself have been trying to stop what I think is coming and what our rulers and elite want. You guys, how much is enough? How much is enough? Last night, as soon as the blast was reported outside of Ariana Grande's concert, CNN and BBC were trying to say that it was a balloon. It's a good possibility that a balloon popped in front of a speaker, and that's what you heard from the explosion. No, as you guys have seen, I showed the videos from inside the arena last night, the Manchester Arena last night. It was a very loud explosion. That is a bomb. Follow the bouncing ball, people. That is called a IED, improvised explosion device. My military friends and veterans out there watching right now know what I'm talking about. That's exactly what it was. CNN and BBC are trying to say, oh, it could have been an electrical mishap. It could have been a balloon popping in front of a loudspeaker. Get frickin' real. Tuberculosis is off the charts now in Minneapolis because of the Somalian immigrants that are coming to Minneapolis right now. And my Minneapolis friends that are watching right now, you know what I'm talking about. These people aren't being vetted. 84% of these people are men, 18 to 30 years old. You don't know where they're coming from, and yes, they are all from the Arabic descent. I'm sorry, I'm not racist. Like I just said, I have many Muslim friends here that have immigrated legally. They're all Trump-supporting American patriots now, and they all tell me the same thing. These are not refugees. This is a planned invasion. You're being spoon-fed some bullshit, liberals. You need to wake up. And I'm seeing liberals now waking up in the UK today. I got reports and videos from Live Leaks and other reporters, not reporters from mainstream media, reporters like me, on the ground actually giving you news, unlike CNN and Fox News and MSNBC can do. What they're showing us now is that we got UK youth are going out and starting to burn mosques. They're starting to retaliate. They've had enough. How much is enough? What's it going to take to wake up, guys? I don't want to see this get violent, because do you know where this leads? Where this leads is patriots like myself. I'm not saying I want to get violent, but people that are awake, informed, and aware are going to start responding. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly. In European countries right now, if you say anything on Facebook, if you speak up about what's happening right now, you're thrown in jail. You're not allowed to say anything about this. I had another friend today from Europe. I'm not going to say her name or what country she's from, but she came out reaching out towards me. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you so much for what you're doing right now, because we're not allowed to speak about it. I don't want my country to be taken over by this ideology, and we're not allowed to say anything about it. This is coming here to America, too.